13 question guys. मैं 10th वाला छोड़ा बीच में, मेरे को मालूम है. I'll explain that. Question number 13 guys now. Next. Huh? Tanish Materials Private Limited produces a product which names ESS. The consumption of raw material for the production of ESS is 210 kgs into 350 kgs per week. What did I tell you the other day, guys? If annual requirement of raw material is not given, how do we compute the annual requirement of raw material? Average consumption, guys, multiplied by the total number of days. So here, beta, the minimum consumption is 210 kgs, maximum consumption is 350 kgs. What will be your average consumption, guys, per week? Average consumption, guys, per week will be equal to 350 plus 210 divided by 2, and that will be equal to 280 kgs. Are we clear, beta? 280 kgs multiplied by 52 weeks. How much will that be? 14,000. We will take an annual sorry, ये per week है ना? And they're asking us to consider 365 days. What you will do, beta, is first convert. We will not multiply by 52 weeks, guys. We will convert that consumption into days. Perfect. Can you do it, guys? क्योंकि बाकी सब भी days में है, beta. So you will not multiply by 52. You will not be complying with the entire information, guys, if you multiply by 52 weeks. Per day 40 kgs, sorry. So 40 kgs beta multiplied by 365 days. How much will that be? You will take annual requirement as 14,600 kgs. Procurement time matlab lead time, guys. Lead time is ranging from 5 days to 9 days. Minimum lead time is 5 days. Maximum lead time beta is 9 days. Average lead time beta would be 5 plus 9 by 2, 7 days. समझ में आया ना? Why did I convert into days? Purchase price of raw materials is 100 rupees per kg. Cost per order beta is 200. Storage cost is 1% per month plus 2% per unit per annum. So that 1% beta will become 12. Arey, smarty. Will become 12% per annum, guys. So you will take 12% of 100. That is 12 rupees. To that you will add another 2 rupees. Your storage cost or carrying cost will become 14 rupees. You're required to calculate EOQ, ROL, maximum level, minimum level, average stock level, number of orders to be placed per year, total inventory cost, and then if the supplier is willing to offer 1% discount on purchase of total annual quantity in 2 orders, whatever is your annual requirement, guys, 14,600 kgs, you will have to order that beta in only 2 orders, and that will be 7,300 kgs per order. You will have to compute your total inventory cost subject to a discount of 1%. Let's not forget, beta, that if your purchase price is changing, your carrying cost also will change, because carrying cost is given in percentage terms. It is 12% of purchase price plus an amount of 2 rupees. Are we clear about this? Yes or no, guys? Let's start, beta. रे बाहर वालों, तुम लोग हंसते गए ना, अंदर नहीं आओगे? लेट आ रहे हो, बाहर बैठ के हंस रहे हो, बेटा क्या कर रहे हो? ये लोग लेट आके बाहर बैठ के हंस रहे. शाम तू डिसाइड कर बेटा, अंदर अलाउ करना नहीं करना, तेरे दोस्त है. एंड हाँ, ये बायस डिसीजन नहीं बेटा. यू हैव टू एक्ट लाइक अ जज. इट कैन नॉट बी बेस्ड ऑन योर पर्सनल ओपिनियंस. मैं नहीं बेटा. क्वेश्चन नंबर क्या है बेटा? तुम लोग कंटिन्यू करो. तू डिसीजन ले बेटा 1 मिनट के अंदर, वरना तू बैग लेके बाहर जाएगा. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. लास्ट वार्निंग देके चल बाहर निकल. तू अरे बाहर निकल रहे तू. अरे रेडी है बाहर जाने को. Anyways, guys, first write the information properly. Better write down. Lead time is in days. पहले वो note लिखना. Lead time is in days. Hence, consumption also should be on a per day basis. Hence, consumption should also be on a per day basis. Consumption should also be on a per day basis. Lead time, guys, is in days. Therefore, consumption should also be on a per day basis. per week लिखूंगा बेटा पहले मैं, and then I'll convert that into per day. What is the minimum consumption? पहले ये consumption का है. Minimum कितना है बेटा? 210 kgs divided by 7 will become 30. Maximum consumption guys is 350 per day. It will become, you know how to get per day, right? Week. Average consumption per day beta would be 30 plus 50 by 2, and that will be 40. Lead time guys would be कितना बेटा? minimum 5, maximum 9 days, और ये वाला 7 days. Whenever annual requirement is not given, I told you that it will be computed on the basis of normal consumption. So what are we going to write better? Will you multiply by 52 weeks or will you multiply by 365 days? Obviously 365 days. This should be average consumption into total working days in a year. Total number of days. So it will be 40 kgs per day multiplied by 365 days. कितना बोले थे बेटा? 14,600 kgs. Now write details of purchase price per kg, write ordering cost, and then we will start with all of those computations. Once you write this minimum, maximum and average consumptions guys on a per week basis or on a per day basis. तो classes क्यों नहीं किया रहे? Done with this beta. What will be your cost per order guys? Cost per order O is equal to 200. Purchase price per kg is 100 rupees. What will be your carrying cost guys? Carrying cost per kg per annum beta would be 12% of purchase price plus 2 rupees. 12% of 100 plus 2 rupees beta, and that will be 14 rupees. Carrying cost per unit per kg per annum beta will be 12% of purchase price plus another 2 rupees, and that will make it 14 rupees. Once you're done with this, you can start off with all the computations beta, starting off with EOQ first. The first bit beta, EOQ, you're going to write root over 2 AO by C. That will be root over 2 times guys of annual requirement 14,000 कितना बोले थे बेटा? 600 multiplied by ordering cost is how much? 200 divided by 14 rupees. पहले exact value बोल. 645.86, so that is roughly 646 kgs. 645.86 beta, that will be 646 kgs. After that beta, what's the second bit? मोक्ष डिस्कस करो या इतना क्या चिल्ला रहे हो पागलों जैसे. The next one beta is computing reorder level. How much will be reorder level? Maximum lead time beta into maximum consumption. शिवेन ऊपर जाके बैठ जाना तो क्लास में, वहां पे बैठ के डिस्कस कर ले. So that will be equal to 9 days guys multiplied by 50 kgs. 450 kgs. This will be the reorder level. EOQ guys is 646 kgs. Reorder level is equal to 450 kgs. Third wala guys after this. Who the hell is talking so much guys? Well, same question again and again, and we have to discuss so much for these questions also. Don't you have a little confidence in yourself that you have to verify every single calculation? 2 into 2 4 आया क्या? वो भी पूछो दोस्त को. Maximum stock level will be reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. Reorder level is 450 kgs. Minimum lead time is 5 days. Minimum consumption is 30 kgs. 5 into 30 beta 150. To that we are going to add the amount of reorder quantity beta 646. कितना हो गया ये? 946 kgs. And then after maximum stock level beta comes minimum stock level. Minimum stock level beta would be reorder level minus. For minimum level beta we deduct consumption on an average basis. For maximum stock level we deduct consumption on a minimum basis. Both of them are based on two different assumptions. So ये हो गया 450 minus average lead time is 7 days. Average consumption is 40 kgs. 280, 450, 170 kgs. Reorder level is 450 kgs guys. Maximum stock level is 946. Minimum stock level is 170 kgs. After this beta comes average stock level. What did I tell you for average stock level? What's the first preference guys? It will always be minimum stock level guys plus maximum stock level divided by 2. Minimum stock level is 170 plus 946 divided by 2 guys. 558. This will be average stock level, or the other formula guys for average stock level guys will be equal to, you do not have to do this normally as such beta, but then it will be minimum level guys plus half of ROQ. यहाँ पे safety stock की जगह बेटा you will be using the word minimum level. Minimum level कितना है बेटा? 170. Half of ROQ beta will be half of 646. So that will be equal to 323 and 170 guys. 493 kgs. Even if you do the first one, that is sufficient guys, but preferably you will do both. Average stock level is equal to 558 or 493. Which one is more realistic? Second one. That will be the actual average stock level that the organizations are going to maintain guys. Are we all clear about this? अभिषेक number of orders आ गए कितना है? Number of orders in a year guys. How do you compute number of orders in a year? Annual requirement beta divided by quantity per order. What is the amount of annual requirement? 14,600 divided by quantity per order beta is 646. Tell me the exact value beta first. 22.6. This beta is being rounded off to the nearest number, which is practically incorrect. I'm not telling you that we will be placing 22.6 orders in a year guys, but you will definitely place 23 orders and transfer the cost of 0.4 orders to the next year. It is not that any inventory that is lying in hand at the end of the year as such beta will be destroyed. Won't that inventory be carried forward? So most realistic answer should be to accurately take. If the answer is in points, take points. You cannot order quantities in points, but number of orders also cannot be in points. For cost computation, you can definitely take in points. We used to do that before only guys, but abhi recently last 6-7 years they started rounding off. So that is why you will now take 23 orders, nearest number. If it is 22.4, you will take it as 22. Anything more than 22.5, it will be 23 orders. वापस बोल रहा हूँ, what is realistic is to take exact number. You will take 22.6 orders का cost in the current year and then take 0.4 orders का cost in the next year. Next cost statement जब भी आएगा. चलो बेटा, take 23 orders and arrive at the total inventory cost guys. Very good beta, good morning. What did I just explain guys with numericals? How are you supposed to round it off? To the अब भी बोला यार with example 22.4 आए तो 22 लो, 22.5 या ज़्यादा आए तो 23 लो बोल के. It is, I'm telling you, it is inaccurate cost, no doubt about it. Inventory कम नहीं कर रहे, cost allocation कम कर रहे हैं, बाकी वो one order का cost पूरा next year को जाएगा. You cannot avoid incurring expenditure. Guys, just because you're taking 23 orders, guys, for computation of cost, that does not mean you buy more inventory. Inventory will still be 14,600 kgs only. Carrying cost and nahi aayega because of rounding off error. You can combine the next two bits, guys, in a single statement rather than computing them separately. Cost statement, beta, at EOQ. I'm combining the 8th bit also, guys. And what if we place how many orders in a year? 2 orders. My quantity per order, beta, at EOQ is how many? 646 kgs. 2 orders agar year mein hai, beta, so it will be 14,600 by 2. That will be 7,300 kgs. 646 kgs and 7,300 kgs. Number of orders, so beta, at EOQ we already know it is how much? 23. Yahan pe it is 2 orders. Purchase price per kg is how much, beta? 100. And this will be discount of 1%, 99. Carrying cost per unit per annum kitna rahega? 12% of 100 plus a fixed cost of how much? 2 rupees. This will be 12% of 99 plus 2 rupees. 13 point. इतना कंपलसरी है बेटा लिखना. इसके आगे you can directly start. So the only thing that you can skip is writing average inventory, because that you can directly write in the formula. Now when you write average inventory, guys, there's no need to include minimum level and all of that. Directly write half of quantity ordered, half of 7,300 or half of 646, because the remaining amount is not supposed to affect your decision. बाद में जाओ. What are your नहीं तू नहीं बेटा. Annual purchases kitne, guys? 14,600 multiplied by 100. How many of you are done with the cost statement? 14 lakhs 60,000. And this beta will be 14,600 multiplied by 99. 14,600 less, that will be 14 lakhs 45,400. Very good, beta. Ordering cost. Cost per order kitna hai, beta? 200. 23 into 200, 4,600. 2 into 200, 400. This will be ordering cost. After ordering cost, beta, comes carrying cost is on average inventory. So you can directly write half of, guys, actually average inventory will be much more than this. Did you not learn the formula for average inventory? अभी ऊपर ही तुम लोग लिखे बेटा average inventory कितना है? 646 kgs अगर EOQ है तो 558 या फिर 400 and, but यहाँ पे अपन we will take only half of 646. How much will that be, guys? We are not getting same answer बेटा ordering and carrying cost, because वो number of orders round off कर दिए बेटा अपन. If we were at rounding off the number of orders, guys, we would have got the exact same answer. All right. I'm only, huh? Which one better? Yes, because in the next bit it says whether you will accept or not. So that is why. It is for decision making only, total inventory cost also. If they ask, even then you can write in total cost statement half of quantity ordered. Kinda note lo rayochu. You will also incur carrying cost and safety stock. How much will this be, guys? Half of 7,300 into 13.88. Kitna hai? 15,600 and चिल्लाओ ना को लगाओ खींच के. So what will be your total inventory cost, guys? 14 lakhs. दूसरा वाला बेटा 96,000. What will be the conclusion, guys? नको नहीं लिख सकते. अरे तू क्या बोला? नको बोला. हाँ मेरे को सुनाई दिया नको बोल के. Guys, you will write बेटा discount offer should not be accepted. Discount offer should not be accepted. Last bit, guys. Lavanya, how do we start with the last bit? what should be the counter offer with respect to the percentage. पहले यहाँ पूरा copy कर लेना and write the conclusion बेटा, that we should not accept discount offer. अभी वो ये पूछ रहा है कि minimum discount कितना चाहिए so that you can consider discount. बोल बेटा लावण्या पार्ट, तेरा नाम लावण्या है बे. The last statement of the question makes it very clear beta that we are only talking about the price that needs to be quoted. Yes or no? Pay attention guys. Let the purchase price be X. If the purchase price is X rupees per unit guys, your carrying cost per unit will be 12% of X plus 2 rupees. अगर carrying cost percentage में नहीं होता बेटा, answer would have been very simple. Your annual purchases guys will still be 14,600 multiplied by X. Your ordering cost will not change. It will still be 2 orders only. कुछ भी नहीं दिया मतलब you will still have 2 orders twice a year. So that will be 2 orders into 200, 400. Your carrying cost as such beta will be equal to half of quantity ordered, 7,300. But this will now be multiplied by 0.12x plus 2. Half of 7,300 calculator पे बेटा देखो एक बार आ रहा क्या, 3650 into 0.12, 438x plus 3650 मतलब 7,300. Your total cost beta will become 15,038x plus 7,700. All right guys. For us to accept beta, for the discount offer to be accepted, maximum cost should be equal to, for discount offer to be accepted, सुन लेना पहले बाद में लिखना, what should be the maximum cost beta? Maximum outflow guys should be equal to 14 lakhs. This is the cost of EOQ. So I will write 15,038 x beta plus 7,700 is equal to 14 lakh 69,122. How much will be 15,038 x guys? 14 lakhs 69 minus 7,700 beta. 4 x is equal to beta, divide that, 15,038 2 decimal points 97 point आगे क्या 1819 97.182 rupees beta. Are we clear guys? Existing purchase price is how much? Existing purchase price is 100 guys. So minimum discount guys will be, you need to get a discount of 100 minus 97.182 on a price of 100, 2.818%. This will be the minimum amount of discount, minimum percentage of discount, or 2.82%. समझ में आया ये? A Limited manufactures X which requires 2 raw materials A and B in the proportion of 1:4. The sales department has estimated a demand of 5 lakh units for the product for the year. To produce 1 unit of finished product, 4 units of material A is required. ऊपर फर्स्ट सेंटेंस में दिया हुआ बेटा as to what is the ratio in which we will be needing raw materials A and B 1:4. They've also given us how many units of A are required, so obviously we can compute how many units of B will be required. We already have a position, stock position beta of 12,000 units of product X. Whenever they give us details of opening stock, I gave a note the other day beta, you'll have to compute it on the basis of the amount that needs to be purchased. जैसे यहाँ पे though the demand is 5 lakh units, we already have an opening stock of 12,000 units. You will have to assume that we will be maintaining a 0 closing stock. Now is that assumption correct? No, but then that is how the answers are given guys. Obviously companies would maintain some amount of opening stock, some amount of closing stock as such guys, but here you will assume that we will be maintaining a 0 closing stock. If there is 0 closing stock to be maintained guys, we have to sell 5 lakh units. We already have a stock of 12,000 units. How many units will you be producing? 4,88,000. That 4,88,000 guys multiplied by 4 will be the requirement of raw material A. 19 lakh 52. That 19 lakh 52 into 4 beta will be the requirement of raw material B. The requirement of raw material A and B, guys, is in the ratio of 1:4. So if you need whatever 19 lakh, 4 units अगर A के लग रहे तो बेटा 16 units B के लगेंगे for every unit. But in raw material also, guys, we have opening stocks. That means you are not going to buy the entire amount that needs to be consumed. जो भी A का consumption आया है, guys, from that I will remove a stock of the leftover amount, guys, is the amount that needs to be purchased. Are we clear? Same way, guys, with material B. Requirement क्या पढ़ना था मैं को और हाँ, to place an order the company has to spend 15,000, so that's your cost per order. Company is financing its working capital using a bank cash credit at 13% per annum. 13% of purchase price, guys, will become your carrying cost per unit per annum. Product X is sold at 1,040 per unit. Who cares about it? We do not care about the selling price of the finished product, guys, unless the requirement is to compute profitability. Are we clear about this? Material A and B are purchased at 150 and 200 respectively. You are required to calculate EOQ. If purchase order for both the materials is placed, you will order A separately and B separately. That's normal. That is what we have done in all the other questions. Second bit is a new bit, guys. It says, what if both the orders are not placed separately? That means you'll be incurring carrying cost only once. Sorry, ordering cost is only once. That 15,000, guys, you do not have to incur separately. You will have to incur it only once as such, guys. How are we going to calculate beta second bit? I'll tell you. Pehle first bit समझ में आ गया. Let's write all the given details properly, guys, and then we will solve the first bit. You will solve the second bit, or try to solve the second bit. 10th question, guys. Assume first sentence that we are going to write, beta क्या? Closing stock. क्या हुआ बेटा भरत? कुछ doubt है क्या? थोड़ा तेरे को बोला ना मैं पहले भी. सुधरेगा क्या या निकालूं? हाँ? उन्होंने हंसा रहा था देखो. अरे वाह. बस ऐसी ही शुरू होती बेटा प्रेम कहानियां. तुम्हारे बच्चों को बोलना बाद में पापा कैसे मिले थे बोल के. Assume closing stock, guys, of finished product and raw materials will all be क्या बेटा? 0. Assume closing stock of finished product and raw materials will all be 0. Will all be 0, guys. Next. Opening stock plus production minus closing stock will be equal to sales. Product X बेटा, opening stock कितना है? 12,000. Production is what we have to compute, guys. Closing stock we have assumed that it will be 0. Sales कितने आएंगे? Demand बेटा है sales 5 lakhs. Therefore production, guys, will be equal to how many units? Very good बेटा. 4,88,000 units. राघव लिखना है बेटा सर. हाँ? 4,88,000 units. Now per unit of X, raw material A requirement कितना है? 4 units. So raw material B beta would be how many units? How do we know beta? A and B are in the ratio of 1:4. So if you need 4 of A, you will be needing 16 of B. So for 4,88,000 units of X, guys, raw material A का consumption कितना रहेगा? 19,52,000. What will be raw material B consumption, guys? 78 lakhs. This will not be the answer, guys. इसके बाद में you will still have to compute purchases, raw materials guys to be purchased. Again same thing beta, opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock will give us consumption, or consumption plus closing stock minus opening stock will give us purchases. For raw material A beta, opening stock कितना है 24,000, purchases we have to compute, closing stock is 0, consumption is 19,52,000. How much will be the amount of purchases? 19,28,000. Raw material B guys, opening stock is 52,000 units, purchases guys is missing 0 is equal to 78,08,000. ये कितना है बेटा 77,56,000. This will be the quantity of raw material guys that needs to be purchased. 19,28,000 of raw material A and 77,56,000 of raw material B. फर्स्ट बेट बेटा EOQ गाइस, एक बार बोल मेरे को, रॉ मटेरियल A रॉ मटेरियल B का बेटा परचेज प्राइस कितना है 150 एंड 200. व्हाट विल बी द कैरिंग कॉस्ट पर यूनिट? 13% ऑफ 150 बेटा कितना है, एंड 13% ऑफ 200 26. दोनों का कॉस्ट पर ऑर्डर तो सेम ही है ना 15,000 गाइस. Therefore बेटा EOQ guys of A would be equal to raw material A का बेटा will be equal to root over 2 times of annual requirement बेटा was 19 lakhs 28,000 multiplied by 15,000 divided by 19.5, 54,462.4. So that will be rounded off to 54,400 and क्या है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं रहता बेटा. अरे यार तुम एक कम एक ज़्यादा क्या होता है बेटा, ये थोड़ी गुटखा मंगा रहा कि कम पड़ गया तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, बल्कि 2 times of 77,56,000 guys multiplied by 15,000 divided by 26, 94,600. This will be the EOQ guys of raw material A and B. Did you all get the same answers? The second bit is very important beta. 1, pay attention guys. For the second bit beta, stop talking guys and pay attention. The annual requirement guys will now be considered as 19,28,000 plus 77,56,000. दोनों का मिला के annual requirement लेंगे बेटा, because the single order is to be placed. How much will be the annual requirement? 96,84,000. Your cost per order beta will not change, it will remain at. Your purchase price per unit guys should be now weighted average purchase price. You cannot add both of them guys. ये units अगर है तो carrying cost should be based on these units. So my weighted average purchase price guys, ये सबसे important वाला part है guys. Weighted average purchase price per unit will be equal to those 19,28,000 I was going to buy at what price? 150. That 77,56,000 I was going to buy at a price of 200 divided by 96,84,000. Few units you're going to buy at 150, few units at 200 guys. दोनों का average price compute कर रहे हैं. आगे थोड़ा बोलते जा ताकि error. 1817. Therefore your carrying cost per unit per annum guys to be considered would be 13% of average price. थोड़ा लॉजिक लगाओ गाइस. न्यूमरेटर में अगर एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट 96 lakhs आ रहा है, कैरिंग कॉस्ट शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन 96 lakhs. जो तुम लोग 45.5 कैरिंग कॉस्ट ले रहे हो, दैट इज नॉट बेस्ड ऑन 96 lakhs यूनिट्स एंड यू विल नेवर इंकर 45.5. सो दिस गाइस वुड बी इक्वल टू 13% ऑफ दिस. कैन यू टेल मी द आंसर बेटा? 20 पॉइंट आगे 8236. मतलब वो ज्यादा एरर नहीं आना बल्कि. EOQ guys will now be equal to 2 times ये 190 point बाहर आ रहे तो how much will be 13% of 190.045? 24.705. So 2 times of 96 lakhs 84,000 guys multiplied by 15,000 divided by 24.7059. How much will that be guys? वही आया बेटा देखो आंसर. Proud of you. 1,08,000 439.5 guys. That's approximately 1,08,440. This will be the EOQ guys. Are you all understanding this? If you would want to segregate this into A and B now, you will divide in the ratio in which the quantities are being ordered guys. So that will be 19 lakhs 28,000 divided by 96 lakhs 84,000, and this will be 1,08,440 multiplied by 77 lakhs 56,000 divided by 96 lakhs 84,000. This will be the values that you're going to get guys. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? How much will this be guys? 20,000 0.589 बेटा leftover amount 1,08,440 minus this 850. This will be the quantity guys. Question number 15 guys. ACE Limited produces the product EMM using a material REX. To produce 1 unit of EMM, 0.8 kgs of REX is required. As per the sales forecast conducted by the company, it will be able to sell 45,600 units of EMM in the coming year. There's an opening stock of 3,150 units of product EMM, and the company desires to maintain closing stock equal to 1 month's forecasted sale. यहाँ पे you will not assume that closing stock is 0. The question is very clear, better that closing stock will be equal to 1 month sale. So 45,600 into 1 divided by 12. 3,800. Jara. Oh my god, priorities. Huh? 3,800 units guys closing stock. We know what is the opening stock, we know what is the sales, we know what is the closing stock. Will we be able to arrive at the number of units to be produced? Yes or no guys? Based on that number of units produced guys, we will know what is the total raw material consumption. For every unit guys, we need 0.8 kgs. Abhi 3,150 is the opening stock guys. Production we have no idea. Closing stock you just told me it is 3,800. This will be equal to your sales figure which is 45,600. How much will be the production guys? 44,000. 46,250 guys will be the production. Based on this 46,250 guys, you will get your raw material consumption. Raw material consumption is how many kgs per unit? 0.8. So you will write 46,250 multiplied by 0.8 kgs. Kitna hai beta? 30. This is raw material to be purchased or raw material to be consumed. Now, the opening stock of REX is 2,100 kgs, while closing stock will be 10% more than opening stock. I know I skipped a lot of information, but pehle ye kar lete hain. So closing stock beta will be 10% more than opening stock. That will be 2,310 kgs. You know your opening stock, you know your closing stock, you know the consumption. Will you be able to arrive at purchases? So opening stock 2,100 plus purchases guys minus 2,310 will be equal to how much? 37,000 consumption. Using this you will get purchases beta. Purchases will be equal to 37,210. This will be the amount of raw material to be purchased. For EOQ computation and everything else, you will take 37,210 kgs. Are you all following? Now, purchase price per kg is given as 25 rupees. Cost per order is given as 240. Storage and interest put together will become carrying cost 12% beta. 12% of 240 rupees. 28.8 of 25 rupees guys. 3 rupees beta will be your carrying cost. Average lead time is 8 days. Difference between minimum and maximum lead time is given beta. So तुम्हारा minimum lead time will become 5 days, maximum lead time will become 11. Guys, ये जो भी difference है बेटा divided by 2, 3 more than this will be maximum lead time, 3 less than this will become minimum lead time. Or you compute normally, minimum plus maximum by 2 beta is equal to average lead time. Maximum usage is given, minimum usage is given beta. If you take an average of these two guys, you'll get average usage. Yes or no guys, कितना आ रहा है? 1. Compute EOQ and total cost as per EOQ. Compute reorder level and maximum level. If the company places an order of 7,500 kgs of REX at once, if it gets a discount of 2%, should the offer be accepted? Pretty simple, right? Yes or no guys? See guys, अगर अपन को annual requirement आ जाता है and plus beta you try to compute average consumption based on this and it does not match with the annual requirement, don't worry, just ignore it. Just if you write 120 kgs multiplied by 365 days, कितना है बेटा 120 kgs into 365 days? You do not have to check. If annual consumption is not given, I will write average consumption into number of days. If it is already given beta, do not check it, just leave it. Are we clear? Chalo beta, all of you start with production first. After you compute production, arrive at raw material to be purchased and then start with all of those. अभी बेटा थोड़े questions बहुत छोटे, time pass मत करना, ठीक है? Solve कर लो. 28th question. Tesco cycles used about 3,60,000 cycle locks per annum, and the usage is fairly constant at 30,000 per month. They do not have to mention that guys. By default, the assumption is that the consumption is going to be uniform throughout the year. If they just mention annual consumption, we know that they're going to consume uniformly throughout the year. The cycle lock cost about 240 rupees each at wholesale rate, and the carrying cost is estimated to be 10% of the average annual inventory value. मतलब क्या बेटा 10% of purchase price to be incurred on average inventory. The cost to place an order is 1,200 rupees. It takes about 45 days to receive the delivery from the date of order. So your lead time beta is 45 days. That's normal lead time. In order to avoid any kind of disruption in the assembly line, safety stock of 6,500 locks is always maintained by Tesco Cycles Limited. Assume there are 360 days in a year. Compute EOQ reorder level. And then if the company has been offered a quantity discount of 2% on the purchase of cycle locks, provided the order size is 30,000, advise whether quantity discount can be accepted or not. Normal? Let's go. क्या बड़ा नहीं हुआ क्या तेरा सेकंड में? EOQ हो गया ना? वही बस. कॉस्ट पर ऑर्डर कितना है बेटा? कितना है बेटा ये? For the second bit, you will have to first compute consumption per day, guys. What will be your average consumption per day? 3,60,000 beta divided by 360,000 units. हाँ बेटा. Normal lead time, average lead time कितना है? 45 days. ROL beta will be equal to safety stock plus average lead time into average consumption. Average lead time into average consumption, guys. So that'll be equal to 6,500 plus 45 days multiplied by 1,000, 51,500 units. So EOQ guys will be 6,000 units, whereas reorder level beta will be 51,500. Guys, will we stop writing for a minute, but pay attention? In questions like this, guys, when we compute minimum level and maximum level, the answers would be incorrect. Okay, your lead time is 45 days, whereas your EOQ is such as how many units? How many orders are you going to place in a year? 3,60,000 beta divided by 6,000 units, that is 60 orders. 60 orders would mean one order every 6 days. So when you use the formula of minimum level or maximum level and write minus lead time consumption, do not forget that during that lead time as such beta, you will be receiving about 8 orders or 9 orders, because you're placing an order every. So lead time is 45 days. Over 45 days, you're not receiving one order, you'll be receiving 7-8 orders. The formulas of minimum level and maximum level, guys, do not give us the answer. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? That is why better to actually arrive at the answer, you should just take till the time the next order is received. That is only till the next 6 days. Rather than deducting lead time, guys, for the entire order, you should deduct consumption only till you receive the next order. Has nothing to do with the question, just telling you. आगे एक आधे question में ऐसा आएगा that you know the minimum level is absurd, but the reason for that will be the same. That your lead time is so high, but during that lead time you will end up receiving multiple orders. Every 6 days you will keep receiving one order as such beta. So that minus 45 days calculation will not work. Are we clear? Continue. We got reorder level beta. Now you will have to compute the total cost at both the levels. क्या क्या है अपने पास अभी? One is quantity per order beta is 6,000. The other one beta is 30,000. Purchase price per unit is 240 rupees, and here it will be 240 के ऊपर we will get a discount of 2%, guys. 4.8 come. Number of orders that we are going to place in a year, beta. 3,60,000 divided by 6,000, 60 orders. 3,60,000 divided by 30,000, that will be 12 orders. Carrying cost per unit per annum, because it is given in percentage, guys. What will I write with that? 10% of 240, 24 rupees. 10% of 235.2, 23.52. Write annual purchases, write total ordering cost, write total carrying cost, guys. $3,60,000 into 240. 8 crores. 60. 3,60,000 units multiplied by 235.2, guys. 8 crores. 70. This will be annual purchases. What will be your total ordering cost in the year? 60 orders multiplied by 1200. 72,000. 12 orders multiplied by 1200. 14,400. Carrying cost beta would be on half of that ordered. Half of 6,000 units multiplied by 24. 70. Half of 30,000 units into 23.52. 3,70,000. 8 crores 65 lakhs 44,000. 50 lakhs 39,000. What should the company do? Should they accept a discount offer of 2%? Definitely yes. The company should be accepting, guys, a discount of 2%. Question number 23, guys. Question number 23. The quarterly production of a company's product, which has a steady market, is 20,000 units. Each unit of a product requires 0.5 kgs of raw material. That means the quarterly requirement of raw material beta is 20,000 multiplied by 0.5, 10,000 kgs. Alright. Annual requirement of the raw material will become 10,000 kgs multiplied by 4 quarters, and that will be 40,000 kgs. The cost of placing one order for raw material is 100 rupees and the inventory carrying cost is 2 rupees per annum. The lead time for procurement of raw material is 36 days and there's a safety stock of 1000 kgs of raw material maintained by the company. So the company has been able to negotiate the following discount structure with the raw material supplier. In case you order up to 6,000 kgs, you're going to get a 0 discount. In case you order more than 6,000 but up to 8,000 kgs, you'll get a discount of 400. In case you order from 8,000 to 16,000, you will get 2,000, 16 to 30, 3,200 and so on. Obviously that quantity that they have given there beta is quantity per order. In a year, we are going to buy a total of 40,000 kgs. How are you going to order that 40,000 kgs will decide what is the amount of quantity discount. Is this discount per order or is this discount the total discount for the year? Per? Very good beta. If it is per order, let's just assume guys that you want to buy 20,000 kgs. Alright. So instead of placing an order for 16,000 to 30,000, what if I place two orders beta of 8,000? Do you think he will give me a discount of 4,000 instead of giving me 3,200? 16,000 ki jagah beta you buy 8,000. You sit there only and you tell him pack 8,000. He tells okay, discount 2,000. Then you tell him again, surprise, pack 8,000 again. And then he tells you okay, discount 2,000 again. But if you tell him nicer 16,000 at once, he'll tell you 3,200 discount. Is that correct guys? This discount is not per order guys, this discount is for the entire year. Are we clear about this? The amount of discount that they've given here guys is for the entire year. This is not the amount of discount per order. Any doubt in this part? Yes or no? You're required to calculate the reorder point guys by taking 30 days in a month. Reorder point matlab reorder level. If there are 30 days in a month, there will be 360 days in a year. You know what is your annual consumption, you know number of days, you will be able to compute normal consumption per day. You already know that your lead time is 36 days. You can use that and the safety stock to compute your reorder level. What's the formula that we have learned for reorder level? Average lead time into average consumption plus the amount of safety stock guys will give us the reorder level. Are we all clear about this? Chalo beta, let's start with that. अभिषेक हो गया तेरा कैलकुलेशन? Total raw material required guys is 40,000 kgs. The number of working days in a year. $30 per month guys into 12 months. That will be equal to 360 days. What will be your average consumption per day? Average consumption per day will be equal to this 40,000 kgs but are multiplied by 360. 111.111. Now you can compute your reorder level, beta. That will be safety stock plus average lead time into average consumption. Safety stock कितने kgs है? 1000. Your average lead time beta is 36 days. Average consumption beta for those 36 days will be 4000 kgs. So put together 5000. We're consuming 40,000 kgs in 360 days. So in 36 days, it will be 4,000 kgs. To that, you will add a safety stock of 1000 and that will become 5,000. Prepare a statement showing the total cost of procurement and storage of raw material. After considering the discount, if the company elects to place 1, 2, 4 or 6 orders in a year. In all the other questions wherein there was a cost comparison, it was only between EOQ and one specific quantity level. Instead of here, comparison between EOQ and one specific quantity level, they've asked us to compare 4 alternatives. If you place only one order in a year, you will end up ordering the entire 40,000 kgs at once. If you place 2 orders in a year, you will be ordering 20,000 kgs. If you place 4 orders, beta, you'll be ordering 10,000 kgs. If you place 6 orders, you'll be ordering 6,667 kgs. Based on these quantities ordered, we will have to compute what is our total carrying cost, total storage cost. But because there is also discount, guys, either you take purchases as X minus discount or just write minus discount from all the alternatives. The decision is not going to change. Agar mera purchases X rupees hai beta without discount, after discount it will become X minus discount. So instead of writing that X everywhere, I can write ordering cost plus storage cost minus discount amount. ये net answer जहाँ पे भी सबसे कम है, that is the alternative that you are going to select. Are we clear about this? Wherever we are incurring the least amount of cost. If you do not like just minus discount, write X minus discount as the purchase price. Answer वही रहने वाला है बेटा, it is not going to change. You will combine the second bit with the third bit. It says also combine EOQ. That means you will first compute EOQ, guys, and in that cost statement, apart from showing those 4 policies, you will also show the calculation at EOQ. After considering that also, whichever is resulting in the least possible cost, that alternative will be selected. Are we clear? Purchase price nahi diya hua hai question mein, they only gave us the amount of discount. So instead of writing annual purchases plus storage cost and ordering cost ke saath beta, we will only write storage cost plus carrying cost minus the amount of discount. Is that clear? Yes or no? Very good beta. Let's compute EOQ first. Second bit, guys. Ordering cost कितना है? Cost per order O, guys, is 100 rupees. How much is carrying cost per unit per annum? Carrying cost per unit per annum is 2 rupees. Cost per order beta is 100 rupees. EOQ will be equal to root over 2AO by C, and that will be root over 2 times of 40,000 into 100 divided by 2. How much is the answer? 2000 kgs. EOQ, guys, is 2000. उसके नीचे लिखना purchase price is not given. After you compute EOQ, guys, you will write purchase price is not given. Purchase price is not given. Hence, decision will be based on purchase price is not given. Hence, decision will be based on storage cost plus ordering cost minus discount. Storage cost plus ordering cost minus the amount of discount. Minus the amount of discount. So we have to present a cost statement, guys, at multiple places. पहले number of orders बेटा कितना है? 1. And then बेटा EOQ में कितने हो जाएंगे? EOQ is 2000 kgs. Annual requirement beta is 40,000 kgs. How many orders will you be placing at EOQ? 20 orders. Write the quantity per order. Quantity per order beta would be, here it will be 40,000. Here it will be 20,000, 10,000, 6,667, 2,000. You will compute total ordering cost, which will be number of orders multiplied by cost per order. You will compute total carrying cost, which will be half of quantity ordered into carrying cost per unit per annum. I know there is safety stock. Actual average inventory will be safety stock plus half of quantity ordered. We will just write a note below that apart from the above, the company will also incur carrying cost on safety stock, irrespective of the quantity ordered. Then beta from this, you're going to deduct the amount of discount, and this will be the net amount. So if I order 40,000 kgs at once, I will be placing one order for which I will incur an ordering cost of 100 rupees. My average inventory beta will be half of 40,000. I'll multiply that by carrying cost per unit. So that will become 40,000. And if I purchase 40,000 kgs at once, we are being given a discount of 2,000, 4,000. So our net cost beta will become 36,100. 100 plus 40,000 minus 4,000. So the company will be incurring the least amount of cost when the quantity per order is 2,000 kgs. EOQ. Correct beta for us? Huh? Number of orders? Huh? It should be, but it is 600 plus 667 minus 400. Discount minus करते बेटा. Discount is not the amount that you will go additionally give him. मैं तेरे से ज़्यादा खरीद रहा हूँ, ये ले रख, बच्चों के लिए चॉकलेट खरीद बोल के. समझ में आ रहा ना? श्रेष्ठ क्या कर रहा है यार तू बाजू बैठ के? The net amount, guys, is 6,867. Are we all clear about this? Aage answer. Write the conclusion better that the company should be placing an order for 2,000 kgs. Company should be placing an order for 2,000 kgs every time. Company should be placing an order for 2,000 kgs, guys. देवान समझ में आ गया बेटा? देखो मानवी, देखो समझ में आया? कौन? देवांश, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन बेटा. We will all read, guys, not just Devansh. Everyone has to solve. 24th question. X Limited has received an offer of quantity discounts on its order of materials as under. In case we order less than 500 tons, the price per ton beta will be 1200. In case we order from 500 to 1000, the price per ton will be 1180. More than 1000 and less than 2000, 1160, 1140, 1120. So prices are given, guys. So carrying cost will be given in percentage so that we can compute carrying cost based on that purchase price and compute total carrying cost. Are we clear? The annual requirement for the material is 5,000 tons. Ordering cost per order is 1200 rupees and the stock holding cost is estimated at 20% of the material cost per annum. You are required to compute the most economical purchase level. So, Bharat, when they say most economical purchase level, what are we supposed to calculate? Bharat बोलेगा बेटा. अच्छा, क्वेश्चन पढ़ता वापस ये. लास्ट के 3 लाइन पढ़ बस है. बच्चों को बोलने देना फराज. यस बेटा भारत फरास इकोनॉमिकल परचेज लेवल मतलब हाँ EOQ is not the economical purchase level. हाँ बेटा फरास perfect. We will have to compute guys the quantity to be ordered at which the total cost is least. While giving notes I said beta EOQ might not be the most economical level if there are quantity discounts. नाम में EOQ में economic है बेटा, that does not mean it is always the most economical level. EOQ is the most economical level only if there are no quantity discounts. So though the requirement is to compute economical level guys, we are not supposed to simply compute EOQ. We are supposed to arrive at the quantity that needs to be ordered if so at which beta the total cost is the least. Second question is an independent question. That is what will be your answer if there are no discounts. If there are no discounts, you will directly compute guys EOQ. That automatically will result in the least amount of total cost. So we know guys that we will have to arrive at the quantity at which the total cost is the least. Correct beta? Grey jacket, what's your name? हाँ I'll ask later again. अभी तू बोल बेटा, how do I decide the quantity? Question में बोला that we will have to pick up the most economical level. Previous question I did not have a problem because he only told me that it is 1 order, 2 orders, 4 orders, 6 orders. So you either tell us how many orders are to be placed, we will compute what is the quantity per order, or you tell us what is the quantity per order, we will know what is the number of orders to be placed. ये question में भाई साहब दोनों नहीं दिए. He did not tell us what should be the quantity per order or what should be the number of orders. How do we decide what should be the quantity beta? कनन पूछूंगा 1-2 मिनट ऐसे घूर नको मेरे को 1 मिनट उसका होने दे, तेरे को ही पूछता हूँ पक्का. He's staring at me. मेरे को पूछ मैं बोलूंगा मिलके. Yes बेटा. करमन. All right बेटा. Anyone has an idea guys? जरा 1 second. Anyone has an idea मतलब you're supposed to raise hands. May I or can I? कहाँ गए रे वो? हाँ आया कहीं को नहीं आया बेवकूफ. हाँ yes बेटा. Multiples of annual requirement is 5,000 beta. So if it is in multiples of 5,000, हाँ beta, factors of 5,000. So we will start with, you know how many factors of 5,000? I will have to solve that question of permutations and combination beta. 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2 into 2, 2,500 beta, फिर 2,500, 1250, फिर 625, 2 cube हो गया, फिर 625 is 5 power 5. So there will be 1 plus 3 into 5 plus 1, 4 into 5, 20, minus 4 into 6, 24, 24 factors beta. करेक्ट है. फाउंडेशन में एमसीक्यू था ना, अपन यूज करें फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ टोटल नंबर ऑफ डिफरेंट. अरे थोड़ा तो कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करो भाई कभी कभी. वो पढ़े नहीं अभी कॉस्टिंग में सर, हमारी गलती थोड़ी है कि आप सब पढ़ाते मैथ्स और ये भी पढ़ाते बोल के. यस बेटा राघव. यस समवन्स आंसरिंग हियर. यस बेटा फराज. क्यों बेटा? एक सेकेंड भाई से बात कर रहा हूँ ना. यस बेटा फराज. ये हैदराबादी हिंदी इतनी हो गई. माय सन हैज अ हिंदी कंपटीशन एंड ही सेज आओ तुमको सुनाता हूँ एक स्टोरी करते. आज मेरे को इसे अरे यस बेटा फराज भाई. 500,000, 2,000, 3,000. आंसर मालूम है सर हमारे को. तो ऐसे ही बोला लोअर. यस बेटा. क्वांटिटी डिस्काउंट भी मिल जाएगा और कैरिंग कॉस्ट भी कम हो जाएगा, इसलिए लोअर वाला लेंगे. तो 0 to 500 में 0 ले लेंगे, 1 लेंगे. बात कर रहा हूं मैं. हाँ 0 to 500 में 1 लेंगे. तो उसका वाला देखो आइडिया नहीं है, बाकी वाले में सब में कम वाला लेगा. जरा मैं बात करूं अभी. यस बेटा वी कैन टेक द एवरेज. नो बेटा नाउ पे अटेंशन ऑल ऑफ यू. Undoubtedly, the answer is that we'll pick up the lower limit, but there is a logical explanation to that. The explanation is not given as a part of any answer of ICAI, but let's understand the explanation, guys. If I pick up a price of 1200 rupees, what will be my carrying cost per unit? 240. It will be 20% of that 1200. I also know, guys. So what will be the EOQ beta? Root over 2 times of 5000 into ordering cost kitna hai? 1200, guys, divided by 240. How much will be the EOQ? 2, approximately 224. The least amount of cost in the first range is going to occur at a quantity of 224 tons. तुम कुछ भी दूसरा order level उठा लो. If you pick up 10 tons, 100 tons, it is going to result in a higher cost. I am not changing the price. I am telling you, if the price is 1200 rupees, my cost is going to be the least at 224 tons. Are you getting the point? It is neither at the lower limit nor at the upper limit. Now, if I pick up a price of 1180, guys, my carrying cost will be 4 less 236. What will be the EOQ, guys? 22. Correct है? हाँ. 225. Now, ध्यान देना, guys. If the price is 1180, least cost will be 228. But if I order 220, sorry, least cost beta will be at 225. But if I order 225, price will not be 1180. If the price is 1180, where will you be incurring the least amount of cost? At a quantity of 225. But तुम अगर actually 225 order कर रहे हो, price will not be 1180. As you keep shifting away from 225 upward, the cost will keep increasing. So the least cost will be incurred at a quantity of, you shift from 500 to 501, the cost will increase even further. You shift from 501 to 502, the cost will increase even further. This is the logic behind taking the lower value of all the limits. सबसे कम cost लगेगा बेटा 225 tons, but it is not possible for you to order 225 tons. When you keep shifting away from 225 tons, the total cost will keep increasing. You will want to keep your total cost as low as possible. So will you prefer ordering 500 tons? You know that the price of 1180 will be applicable when the price per ton is how much? 500. So will you prefer ordering 500 tons or 510 or 520 or 530? Obviously 500. That is what is going to result in a lower. Sir, will this relation always hold good? Nahi. It all depends on how much is your cost per order and how much is your carrying cost. Agar cost per order kam hota beta significantly, then no compulsion that the least cost should occur at the lower limit. There's every possibility better that it can be some random value between these two limits. So now your doubt. What if, sir, I take a price of 1180 but I get EOQ as 1020? I take a price of 1180 but I get an EOQ of 1020. सबसे closest value कौन सा है उसका? You will order 1000. That will result in the least possible cost at a price of 1180. It is about the closest value at which that price is applicable. You pick up any other range, guys, you will get EOQ as 227, 228, ऐसे ही आते जाएंगे. So that is why we pick up the lower values. This explanation is not there anywhere as such, but it is only for your understanding as to why are we picking up the lower values. In fact, for the first level, guys, 500 wala, in the exam, we are supposed to stick to what answer they give. They will pick up, let's say, 100 and 400. One value closer to the lower limit, one value closer to the... But we know that the total cost will not be least at 100 or 400. The total cost will be the least at... वो लोग फिर भी बच जाते क्योंकि the total cost is not the least in the first range. It is the least in... अब सोचो, if you compute 400 tons when you get the least cost there, and you write none of the other levels are good, we should order 400. But don't you think a better value than 400 is 224? So we are going to write 100, 224, 400 in the first range, and for all the other ranges I will pick up the lower value. Are we clear about this? Yes or no? Exam में कोई explanation नहीं लिखना है. We are directly supposed to pick up those values better and start computing cost. Any doubt in this? Understood basically better? अब वो जो first range है, guys, I will comply with the answer given as per ICAI, but I will also write 224 tons. For all the subsequent ranges, I will take quantity beta as the lower limit, which is 500, 1000, 2000 and 3000. What will be the applicable purchase price per unit, guys? It will be 1200 for the first three values, subsequently 1180, 1160, 1140. All you have to do beta is now compute total cost at these prices. You can also write carrying cost per unit, write number of orders, and then start with the calculation. You can start, guys. Carrying cost per unit beta will be 20% of price. Number of orders would be 5000 divided by quantity per order. 50. Correct, no? 50 by 4000. 12.5, that is roughly 13. ये 10 है, ये 5 है, ये 2.5 है, मतलब 3 है, ये 1.67 मतलब 2 orders. एक बार ये करना 5000 by 224, 22.32, so that is 22 orders. 60 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 59 lakhs, 58 lakhs, 57 lakhs and 56 lakhs. Remember guys, irrespective of the quantity ordered, you should take annual purchases for 5000 tons. That is for annual purchases. It should not be quantity per order. Is that clear about this? Are you all clear, beta? Ordering cost, guys, will be number of orders multiplied by cost per order. The number of orders in the first case, guys, are 50. Cost per order is how much? 1200. So that will be 60,000, guys. 13 into 1200 will be 15,600. 22 into 1200, guys, will be 26,400. This will be 12,000, 6,000, 3,600 and 2,400. This will be the ordering cost, guys. After that beta comes carrying cost, which will be half of quantity ordered multiplied by carrying cost per unit per annum. In the first case, when you're ordering 100 tons beta, it will be half of 100 tons multiplied by 240, guys. This will be 12,000. This will be half of 400 units into 240, guys. That will be 48,000. This will be half of 224, guys, multiplied by 240 beta, and that will be 26,880. This will be half of 500 tons, guys, into 236 beta, 59,000. Next beta will be half of 1000 tons into 232 beta, 1,16,000. Next will be half of 2000, 1000 multiplied by 228, 2,28,000. And the last one beta is half of 3000, guys, that is 1500 multiplied by 224, guys, 1,12,000, 3,36,000. So this total amount will become 60,72,000, guys. This will become 60,63,600. This will become 60,53,280. This will become 59,71,000. This will become 59,22,000. This will be 59,31,600. This will be 59,38,400. The least amount of cost is occurring at a total volume of 1000 tons. Therefore, the company should be placing an order for 1000 tons. Also, if you compare the first level beta 0 to 500 tons, the total cost is the least at EOQ. It is not the least at 100 tons or 400 tons. So, it is actually the least at a volume of 224 tons. Moksha, ho gaya tera cost statement? Write the conclusion beta that the company should be placing an order for 1000 tons. Price is 1500. Right. 20% of 1500 beta, that will be how much? 300. EOQ beta will be equal to root over 2 times of 5000 into 1200 divided by 300, and that beta will be equal to. Are we all clear about this? Bharat, can you explain me better what is the meaning of the word stock out? स्टॉक खत्म होने वाला है. I hope you're all done with the calculation, guys. So when you say stock out, beta, we are basically referring to a situation where the inventories are not available with the organization, and that is why you either will have to forego the order, the demand as such, beta, or you make last minute purchases in the local market at a higher price. Either we are losing out on the sale only. Even if you're losing out on the sale, there is some amount of profit that you are foregoing. Or you will have to make a last minute purchase from the local market at a higher price. If you do that as such, there will still be higher cost component. So stock out will cost the company either in the form of lost. How many of you are still doing the previous one? Leave it. So stock out, guys, will cost the organization either in the form of lost profit or in the form of incremental cost. When will an organization normally face a situation of stock out? When you are not placing an order on time or you are not maintaining appropriate amount of reorder level. If you maintain reorder level on the basis of maximum lead time and maximum consumption, then you will not be incurring any stock out cost. But if you maintain that on the basis of maximum lead time and maximum consumption, guys, it would also mean that you're maintaining a higher amount of inventory, your carrying cost will increase. In case you maintain reorder level, guys, based on average lead time and average consumption, then your carrying cost will reduce because you're maintaining lesser inventory levels. But this can result in an increase in stock out cost. Ordering cost se kuch lena dena hai hi nahi, guys. I am not changing quantity per order. I'm only deciding what should be reorder level. Are we clear about this? So it has nothing to do with your quantity per order. Every time an order is placed, there can be a situation of stock out. So the number of stock outs in a year will be equal to number of orders, expected stock outs. If you're placing an order 10 times in a year, but a stock out situation can arise 10 times. If you're placing order 20 times in a year, stock out situation can arise 20 times. Are we clear? Our job is not to minimize only stock out cost or only carrying cost. Our job is to minimize the sum total of carrying cost and stock out cost. Financially, we should select that alternative that is resulting in the least amount of carrying cost plus stock out. Carrying cost on what? Safety stock. Higher the amount of safety stock maintained, lesser will be the stock out cost. Higher will be the carrying cost. So you will have to minimize the sum total of carrying cost and stock out cost as such, guys, on the amount of safety stock, sum total. That itself will be the most preferred alternative. Are we clear about this? ये समझ में आया? Are we changing number of orders in a year? We are only changing what? Reorder level. We are not changing reorder. Reorder quantity will not affect this decision. Reorder level will affect the decision of safety stock. Is that statement clear? Now, guys, question 32. IPL Limited uses a small casting in one of its finished products. The castings are purchased from a foundry. IPL Limited purchased 54,000 castings per year at a cost of 800 per casting. Page number 2.36, guys. Question number 32. Settle हो गए? अब पढ़ेंगे question. Annual demand beta is 54,000. Cost per casting is 800. The castings are used evenly throughout the year in the production process on a 360 day per year basis. 54,000 castings divided by 360 without yawning कितना आएगा बेटा? 150. अब यही minimum रहेगा, यही maximum रहेगा, यही average रहेगा if nothing is given. Are we clear about this, guys? 150 castings per day is your consumption. The company estimates that it will cost 9,000, guys, to place a single order and about 300 rupees to carry one casting in inventory in 1 year. So your ordering cost per order is given as 9,000 rupees. Carrying cost per unit per annum is given as 300. What will be the level of EOQ, guys? You know annual demand, you know cost per order, you know carrying cost. How much will be EOQ? Harshita beta, EOQ, calculator. Under root 2 times of 54,000 into 9,000 divided by 300. That will be how many units? Next. The high carrying cost result from the need to keep the castings in carefully controlled temperature and humidity conditions and from the high cost of insurance. Do you care about it? No. Even I don't, guys. Delivery from the foundry generally takes about 6 days. But it can take as much as 10 days. How much will be 6 days? What will be 6 days, beta? Very good. Average lead time. It is not minimum lead time. Let's read the statement again. Generally it takes about 6 days. So that is average or normal lead time is 6 days. But it can take as much as maximum is 10. Very good, guys. So proud of you. Huh? क्या हुआ 2? The days of delivery time and percentage of their occurrence, guys, are shown in the following tabulation. In 75% of the cases, the delivery took place in 6 days. In 10% of the cases, this is based on the past experience, beta Hassan. In 10% of the cases, guys, the delivery took place in 7 days. In 5% of the cases, the delivery took place in 8 days, 5% 9 days, 5%. So this is based on past experience. Are we clear about this? You are required to compute EOQ. We already did it. 1800. Assuming the company is willing to take a 15% risk of being out of stock, what would be the safety stock and what will be the reorder level? I know that the delivery, guys, on a higher side will take about 10 days. In case I maintain reorder level on the basis of 10 days consumption, there will never be a situation of stock out because there is no possibility that the supplier will take more than 10 days to deliver the material. Hi, Anna. But if I maintain my reorder level based on 10 days consumption, guys, it comprises of 6 days of reorder average lead time. The extra 4 days will become my safety stock. अगर मेरा reorder level 10 days पे है, if it is based on 10 days, what is my formula for reorder level? भाड़ में क्या maximum lead time into maximum, दूसरा वाला बेटा safety stock वाला. It is average lead time into, all of us know average lead time into average consumption is 6 days into 150, 900. Plus there should be some safety stock. If this safety stock is for 4 days, my reorder level is now based on maximum lead time, that is 10 days consumption. And if I base my reorder level based on 10 days consumption, there will not be a situation of stock out. समझ में आ रहा है? Stock out कब होगा guys? अपने पास inventory कम है. We will consume at the rate of how many units per day? That is fixed. That is not going to change. Our consumption per day is going to be 150 units. Let's say you place an order, beta, when the inventory level with you is 900 units. That is 6 days के लिए sufficient है. Hi Anna. You will face a situation of stock out if the supplier is taking, क्योंकि अपना inventory will get exhausted only in 6 days. What is the probability that the supplier will deliver in 6 days? Based on the past experience, we know better that the supplier has delivered the material in 6 days in 75% of the cases. That means we are taking how much risk? So there's a 25% risk that you will go out of stock in case your reorder level is based on only 6 days consumption. What if you take reorder level based on 7 days consumption? We maintain an inventory of 1050 units. 7 days multiplied by 150. अपने पास 1050 है, that is where we place an order. ठीक है? Now, when will you be out of stock? If the supplier does not deliver the material in 7 days. What is the chance that he will deliver the material, guys, in 7 days or less? 10 मत बोलना, खींच के मारूंगा बेटा. If it delivers in 6 days, also good for us. So it will be 80. What's the risk that you'll be out of stock? Are you getting it? What if you maintain reorder level based on 8 days consumption? There's a 90% chance that the supplier will deliver the material, guys, in. That means we're still taking a 10% risk. If you maintain reorder level based on 9 days consumption, we're still taking a risk of 5%. If you take reorder level based on 10 days, there is zero risk. Now we will see better. He's asking us to take how much risk? That means we should take reorder level based on how many days? इसमें से नॉर्मल लीड टाइम कितना रहता? वो 1 day का एक्स्ट्रा सेफ्टी स्टॉक बन जाएगा. That 1 day into 150 units is safety stock of 150 units. If the question says you are willing to take a 5% risk of being out of stock, that means you should maintain reorder level for how many days? Out of those 9 days, how much is normal lead time? Safety stock will be for how many days? Very good. I know better. 450. एक बार वो समझ में आ गया guys, you can compute it for any level. Are we clear about this? Remaining part of the question is dead easy guys, very simple. समझ में आ गया? चलो guys, let's write the requirement. अभी लिखाऊंगा, उसके बाद में if you still have any doubt you can ask guys. very confused face, समझ में आ रही? समझ में नहीं आता, ऐसा लगता तो रोने पड़ जाती बोल के अभी. Number of days beta is 360. Consumption per day is ये लिखना है सबको. पढ़ा दिया मैं ये क्यों तो इतने बार. कितना बोले थे बेटा? 1800 ना. क्या पूछ रहा है वो? कितना रिस्क? 15% risk guys of being out of stock. That means better reorder level should be based on how many days consumption? Reorder level better should be based on 7 days consumption. That will be 7 into 150, 1050. इसमें से normal lead time consumption कितना रहता? 900. Normal lead time consumption guys will be 6 into 150, 900, and safety stock beta will be for how many days? 1 day. 1 into 150, 150. Third bit guys, 5% risk of being out of stock. ROL should be based on 9 days consumption. Out of that 9 days beta normal lead time कितना है? Normal lead time is how much beta? हाँ? And safety stock, अरे ये लिखा ही नहीं, sorry. 9 into 150 guys, that will be 1350. This will be 6 into 150, 900. So safety stock guys would be 3 into 150, 450. Okay. Guys, अपना ROQ guys is EOQ. How much is that? 1800. अपना ROL guys will be 1350, which includes a safety stock of 450 units. Safety stock will only and only impact what? Guys, ये questions ना बेटा उतने common नहीं थे, but recently 1.5 years से you've started seeing the safety stock वाले questions बेटा here and there. That means the concept is now important. So what will I do बेटा? I'll write the answer for number of orders. बेशरम लोग wait कर रहे बस इनको. सिर्फ टाइम देख रहे, भूख लग रही रे भाई, छोड़ तू पहले बोल के. 30 orders guys, what will be your total ordering cost? 30 orders multiplied by 9,000, 2 lakh 7. What will be carrying cost? 2 lakh? We cannot write that. Very good beta. It will now be safety stock plus half of quantity ordered. अब ये क्या है sir आप? The question is about computing carrying cost based on safety stock guys. So average inventory का actual formula क्या है? Isn't that minimum level plus half of quantity ordered? This is where that 5% risk will make a difference. So that'll be 450 plus half of 1800 into what's the carrying cost per unit? So 2 lakh 70 तो आएगा ही, plus another 1 lakh 35, 4 lakh 5,000. Total amount 6 lakhs. Are you all clear about this? सबको समझ में आया? Why am I including safety stock? The question is not about computing guys, or the question is not related to decision on quantity to be ordered. The question is about decision related to safety stock. We should include carrying cost on safety stock. In all the other questions that we did not include safety stock पे carrying cost, the questions related to decisions on. तुम्हारा हो गया time. Yes, copy करो, जान दो. You're done with the major part of this chapter. What we have left is few minor small parts. और साथ बेटा अभी inventory control was the ongoing topic. Under that I said beta there are 4 ways of exercising inventory control. The first one was by setting quantitative levels. We are still under the first one only. The concepts of EOQ, maximum level, minimum level, reorder level guys, average stock level, danger level, all of them come under exercising inventory control by setting quantitative levels. Now under that only beta we also have the situation of stock out only. Under that we have another thing called as JIT, just in time. I have already explained about JIT when I was doing introduction guys. Cost reduction. Just in time guys is, so there are 2 types of production policies that an organization can implement as such beta. Yash क्या हुआ? AC ठंडी लग रही है तो सामने वाले की बुक में क्यों देख रहा है? सो जस्ट इन टाइम पॉलिसी है साथ बेटा. देयर आर 2. नहीं देख रहा था क्या बुक सामने वाले की? मेरे को लगा कॉपी मार रहा था बोल के. एग्जाम थोड़ी है बेटा. बैक गाइज अगेन. मैं डायरेक्टली क्लास के सबके सामने बोलूंगा बेटा, ठीक है? बिहेव योरसेल्फ, अदरवाइज गेट आउट ऑफ द क्लास. करमन a company can either follow something called as beta the push system of manufacturing, or they can be pull system of manufacturing. A push system of manufacturing guys works on the concept of you anticipating demand first. You undertake manufacturing activity based on anticipated demand, and then guys once the inventories are manufactured you try to sell that in the market. That is the push system of manufacturing. Globally as such guys many entities as such better work. Anything better that is directly consumer driven business, matlab your product is directly being sold to the end consumer, majority of those manufacturing system will be push system. Just Apple has a policy of forecasting demand for 150 days. They have rigorous inventory estimating models better that will try to estimate what is the amount of inventories that will be demanded over the next 150 days, and then they undertake manufacturing based on that anticipated demand. If the demand does not match with that as such beta, then obviously the discounts offered or whatever, and they try to sell those, clear those inventories in the market. Pull system of inventory as such is where manufacturing will be undertaken only when the orders are received from the customers. जब तुम्हारा customer तुमको order place कर रहा है, only when you receive that order you're going to manufacture the product guys, and you're going to manufacture the product only when at the time as such beta it is required to be delivered to the customer. The whole objective is to ensure that you do not maintain any inventory levels. You will not want to maintain raw material inventory levels. You will not want to maintain finished good inventories. Customer order दे रहा है, उसके basis पे you are undertaking to manufacture the product as such beta, and as soon as the product is manufactured it will be delivered to the customer. For that to happen, you should manufacture only when it is required to be delivered to the customer. You cannot go and tell the customer that I am following just-in-time policy. I know that you needed the product 1 month later, but मैं बना दिया तेरे को दे रहा हूँ, रख ले बोल के. If the customer needs a product 1 month later, you're also going to manufacture it only 1 month later. That is JIT production. So JIT production as such beta is very simple. Manufacture only when it is required and deliver it to the customer only when the customer needs the product. By doing this, you are not going to store any finished product. If you are not storing any finished product as such beta, you do not incur any carrying cost. And it's just not about that carrying cost as such, guys. It is also about the fact that your manufacturing systems have to be, very efficient. You cannot afford to manufacture any defective products. So just in time not only helps us in reducing the carrying cost, just in time will also help us guys in manufacturing better quality products. सिर्फ just in time implement करने से नहीं होगा. You'll have to train the employees better to ensure that they manufacture the right quality product first time, rather than reworking the product better and increasing the overall cost. If there's a need to rework the product, then you will not be able to deliver the product at the right time to the customer. So that is why the right quality product has to be manufactured the first time. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? That is JIT system. Under JIT as such beta, the company receives an order. Based on the order received as such guys, the manufacturing entity will undertake to process. If the raw materials are not available as such beta, automatic intimation will go to the supplier that the company is in need of raw material. The supplier will deliver the material to you only when you need the raw material. You will not have any stores department also. The raw material is directly delivered to the production floor. And once the raw material is delivered, you undertake manufacturing activity better and you deliver the product to the end customer. We do not have detailed calculations of JIT in our syllabus. We only have the concept of JIT. CA final mein you will again learn about detailed calculations, whether JIT should be implemented or not. For any entity to implement JIT as such beta, remember supplier reliability is very important. If your supplier cannot deliver the material in smaller quantities as and when you need it, you will not be able to implement just in time. Are we clear? Suppliers cannot deliver larger quantities of material. Supplier will only deliver jitna chahiye tumko. You are manufacturing. Jaise Toyota beta ships 4 cars only. 4 car bandegi, it is shipped in smaller trucks as such beta. There is no concept of storage there. So that is JIT again. Are we clear about this? Any doubt in this beta? Advantage of JIT agar pucha to kya hai? They will if they ask beta, you have to talk about JIT production, JIT purchasing. Whether it is JIT production or whether it is JIT purchasing as such guys, it works on the principle that you should manufacture the product only when it is required. You should deliver the product to the customer only when the customer needs it. This is what you're supposed to write if at all there's a theory question. Are we clear about this? Isse zyada kuch nahi hai. And yes, the fact that it is a demand pull system. When I say demand pull system, demand is pulling the manufacturing activity as such guys. The manufacturing activity is not pushing the demand. Are we clear about this guys? Ulta nahi hai. If manufacturing activity is deciding as such beta what should be the demand for the product, that means you're manufacturing in advance and you're trying to manipulate the prices as such guys in order to create more demand or to reduce the demand for the product. Are we all clear about this? Yes or no? For us, change your expression beta. The next inventory control beta is on the basis of relative classification. On the basis of relative classification, we have something called as ABC analysis. We have VED, vital, essential, desirable. We have HEM, high cost, medium cost, HML beta, high cost, medium cost and low cost. And then fast moving, slow moving, non-moving. Pure sif classifications hai beta. It says you're exercising control over the inventories by dividing them into different groups. ठीक है? That is relative classification. When I say you're dividing, page number 2.13, हाँ, तुमको खोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुम लोग सुनो बस. You're dividing inventories beta into different categories. The first category guys is ABC analysis. ABC analysis guys is based on Pareto analysis. Ever heard about Pareto analysis? Influencers will know better. This is called as the 80-20 rule. Sanvi? 80-20 rule क्या है बेटा? 80% of the problems in your life as such guys will be on account of those 20% friends. No, 80-20 rule beta basically. So this Vilfredo Pareto beta was an Italian economist. He observed something in his economy and that became a rule. So Wilfredo Pareto observed that 20% of the individuals held about 80% of the wealth of the entire nation. That is why none of the economists dared to even undertake a study like that in India, better, because it can be 98-2 or it can be 99-1. So like, let's not do it only. वो बेचारा 80-20 rule change हो जाता, people will get So that is why, guys. So 80% of the wealth was in the hands of 20% individuals, and then remaining 80% individuals held only about 20% wealth of the entire country. So this 80-20 as such, beta, became a general rule to be applied in multiple business areas. The 80-20 rule that people talk about on social media as such, beta, is if there are way too many tasks to be performed as such, beta, and you do not know where to start with, sometimes it may happen as such, beta, that we only stress about the fact that there are way too many things to be done, but the problem is we do not intend to do anything about it. We only keep crying about so much padna hai, padna hai, padna hai. What is the solution to that? Padho. अरे मतलब और क्या है बेटा? But we will only stress about the fact that we have to study. We will not. So 80-20 rule beta says make a list of all the things that are pending. 25 things. वो 25 बोलते बेटा ऐसे ताकि वो 80-20 rule match होना. तुम 25 मत करो. If there are 10 things to be done, make a list of all of those 10 things, but in the order of priority. What makes you think as such, beta, is the most important thing to be done first? Make a list of all of those as such, guys. It says concentrate on the top 20%, strike the remaining 80%. Just work on finishing the top 20% task as such, beta, and that will solve 80% of your problems. Now this became a general rule everywhere. Companies, beta, if there are quality defects, it says 80% of the quality defects are usually due to 20% underlying causes. Rather than concentrating on all the quality problems equally as such, but or all the causes equally, let us concentrate on those 20% causes first. If there are 100 employees in an organization, there might be few key employees contributing the most to the organization. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? जैसे अब एक डिफेंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लास्ट वीक की बात हुई थी बेटा. वन पर्सन वाज टेलिंग, आई सेड व्हाई डू पीपल इवन वांट टू वर्क इन योर कंपनी? आई वाज ब्लेटेंट इनफ. I said, government organization, salaries are low. He says, no, they do not want to work. You got it all wrong. The fact that they're joining it is because they want a laid back life. That is why they're joining first. And plus, I said, but if that is the case, why is your organization coming up with such amazing results year after year? Not in terms of profitability, in terms of the research projects. So they say, yes, there are about 10% employees who still take their job very seriously. They are doing the work of the entire 100% labor force of the organization. Then remaining 90% would only want to go in the interviews and say we did this. This is an actual story as such, beta. और वो जो 10% है बेटा who are hell bent on doing things, these are the people who also leave the organization in a couple of years because they get very amazing offers from the private sector. Few people will say no, देश प्यारा है, I should work towards it as such, बेटा. Few people will say पैसा भी प्यारा है, जरा पापी पेट है, निकलेंगे यहाँ से बोल के. So the same rule. There will be few employees as such, beta, who will always be contributing the most. There will be few products that will bring the most amount of revenue for an organization. There will be few customers who will be contributing the most to the profitability of an organization. Likewise, if you divide all of your raw materials, there will be few raw materials that have the highest value, but they might be less in number. It might only be 10% in number or 20% in number, guys, but the amount of value that it is adding, cost in terms of value, is 80% in the end product. While the remaining 80% of the raw materials as such, guys, might be adding only 20% value to the end product. A couple of days before, I was telling you how Tata Motors had about 1200 suppliers at one time. 1200 suppliers, मतलब सोचो कितने types of raw materials है. There's so many types of materials as such, beta, that needs to be purchased by the entity. We cannot have the same amount of concentration, same amount of control on all the 1200 materials or all on the 2000 materials. Yes or no? There needs to be effective control over few materials that are the most important, and you can have lesser control over the remaining things. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? So this is where we divide the inventories into three categories called as category A, category B, category C. It's like those few topics that have the highest weightage in the examination. Doesn't apply for CA course, but हाँ, If I take, अभी तुमको यहाँ पे बोला मैं every topic will come in the examination, ऐसा कभी भी नहीं रहता. 20% topics, 80% marks, remaining 80% topics, 20% marks does not apply here, guys. And if it applies, we should not do this course also, because then clearing the examination becomes so easy as such better that the value of the course will not remain. So coming back to this, guys, raw materials will be divided into 3 categories as such, guys: A, B, C. Category A generally comprises of about 10% of the materials in number or in volume, but 70% in value. Category B will comprise of the materials which are 20% in volume or in number and 20% in value. Category C will comprise of materials that are 70% in volume or number, but only highest control should be placed on category A. Last attempt this question came for about 8 marks. So the highest, ऐसा बोलते कि बच्चे सुनते, थोड़े बच्चे यहाँ वहाँ देख रहे थे, ABC ओनली ना, नर्सरी से पढ़े हम लोग, ये क्या हमारे को ABC पढ़ा रहा बोल के अभी. So highest control as such beta should be placed on category A. All of those quantitative levels that you fix, reorder level, maximum level, minimum level as such, guys, everything should be strictly adhered to when it comes to category A. Category A का बेटा amount ज़्यादा है. If you maintain higher levels of inventory of category A, it will directly dent your profitability. Carrying costs will increase drastically. If you maintain lower amount of inventories, it will lead to production shortages. These are the most important raw materials. That is why all the other controls that you learn about, जो quantitative levels पढ़े, जो भी पढ़े, that should be strictly adhered to when it comes to category A. Category B as such beta says lesser importance. You need not have the same strict controls that you have for category A. You can have little lower controls as such, guys. So usually you will place orders of category B stocks by reviewing their stocks periodically. Have a policy that after every 10 days, after every 15 days or 1 month, you will see what is the amount of stock that you have as such beta and accordingly decide whether an order needs to be placed or not. But you do not have to maintain very strict inventory controls. See guys, if you start placing the same amount of control on everything as such, guys, then there's no point. Matlab, you will never be concentrating on the important areas, is what this entire principle says. Category C बोलता है बेटा, why are मतलब they are required to manufacture the product, but then you do not need to have the controls that you have category B also. It says the intent is to reduce your ordering cost. The intent is to reduce material handling cost. For these materials, you cannot keep ordering very frequently. Anyways, the value of that inventory is very small. Even if you end up holding larger amount of inventories of these guys, is it going to increase your carrying cost drastically? No. It says have a policy of ordering say twice a year or once a year, get done with it. जो भी पूरे साल का requirement है साथ बेटा, you will order them 2 times a year or order them once a year. It's not just about holding inventories, it is also about material handling cost. Every time you order material as such beta, the material needs to go through a process as such. So there is material handling cost that the organization incurs. We have to reduce that. समझ में आया नहीं आया? So this is the advantage of classifying inventories into category A, category B, category C. समझ में आ गया? The next classification of is everyone clear about this? The next classification of materials as such, guys, after ABC का full form बेटा है नहीं, we call that as always better control. आगे और एक ABC आएगा, that is activity based costing. But here it is always better control. The Pareto analysis and all is just a background story. You do not have to write in the examination. No one is expecting you to write about Pareto analysis. They just want you to. Pareto analysis, if applied as such beta for raw material, it becomes ABC analysis. That Pareto rule you can apply in multiple areas, is what I told you earlier. ठीक है? The next beta is fast moving, slow moving and non-moving. What do you think will be FSN category beta? हाँ? नहीं नहीं, अपन industry wise नहीं बात कर रहे बेटा. See, what you're talking about बेटा is, ये अच्छा है यार, ये बोल रहा FMCG का नाम ही होता है फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स. सो जो भी FMCG बना रहा है वो फास्ट मूविंग है, जो भी वो नहीं बना रहा है वो, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अप, अरे तुम लोग मार खाओगे यार. In a specific company also as such, guys, there will be few raw materials that are required very frequently. There will be few raw materials as such, guys, that you may not need on a daily basis. So if you walk into your kitchen and imagine your kitchen as a stores department as such, guys, the basic necessities as such beta that you need every day as such beta, like sugar or tea powder or salt as such, guys, will be kept handy. It is not that every time you need this as such beta, you will have to go through a process to look for them as such beta somewhere inside. The intent is to save on time. Anything that is needed frequently is always and always kept as such beta at the closest point of requirement. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ guys? Likewise, if organizations classify their inventories into fast moving, slow moving and non moving as such guys, they will know how to basically beta place materials in their stores. Fast moving inventories will be kept near the store issue point only. When it is kept near the store issue point, as and when beta there's a requirement, it can be immediately issued. Plus, because it is fast moving, you will also have to ensure that there are sufficient inventory levels available. The quantities of fast moving items should be reviewed periodically. Are we understanding this? Slow moving items as such guys can be because you have purchased in excess earlier, or the nature of the material is per se like that it is not needed for all the products. It is needed only for few products. So slow moving thoda andar ke taraf rakh sakte hai guys. But we also have to ensure that this slow moving does not become non-moving. A non-moving item of inventory is the one that is no longer required. What do you do with that? Dispose it off, sell it, so that you at least clear your investment. Organizations should have to ensure. Raghav and Ekansh beta, can you both please get up and leave the classroom now? Wait, side mat. Jaldi hut, let them move. Dono beta, bahar jao. Non-moving items now. Non-moving items as such guys are those as such beta that are no longer. Jaldi. Non-moving items as such guys are those that are no longer required. Because they are no longer required as such beta, what should the organization do? Sell them. But we have to also ensure as such guys that the slow moving items do not become non-moving items. Why do items become slow moving or non-moving? Is earlier either the technology has changed that we do not no longer need the materials as such guys. Possible hai nahi hai. You purchase materials, but then all of a sudden there has been a change in the demand based on the new demand for the new product. The old material as such beta that was manufactured that was purchased is no longer required. How to classify inventories into FSN beta is using something called as inventory turnover ratio. ये मैं ratio analysis में पढ़ाऊंगा अभी. There's a third one, inventory control using ratio analysis. Inventory turnover ratio beta is basically how quickly is the raw material being consumed, or on an average for how many days are you holding the inventory before it is being consumed. If the inventory gets replaced 180 times in a year, that means the inventory is getting used roughly in only 2 days. तुम खरीद रहे हो 2 दिन में यूज हो रहा है, वापस आ रहा है, 2 दिन में यूज हो रहा है, वापस आ रहा है, 2 दिन में यूज हो रहा है. If the inventory turnover ratio as such beta is say 90 times in a year, that means the inventory is being stored for roughly 4 days. कितने बार inventory is getting change in a year? Let's say beta that the annual amount of consumption of raw material is 12 lakh rupees. On an average, you are holding inventory worth 50,000. You're consuming inventory worth 12 lakhs in a year, and the consumption of inventory guys is how much? 50,000. 12 lakhs divided by 50,000 beta, 24 times. The inventory will get replaced 24 times in a year. If the inventory gets replaced 24 times in a year, on an average you're holding it for 15 days. You buy the material, you hold it for 15 days as such beta on an average, and then basically from the point of purchase till the point of usage, there's a gap of 15 days. If the inventory turnover ratio is very high, it indicates the inventory is fast moving. If the inventory turnover ratio is lower, it indicates that the inventory is... Are we clear about this? We use inventory turnover ratios to determine whether an inventory is FSN. But a lot of entities as such beta work on increasing their inventory turnover ratios. When they increase their inventory turnover ratios as such beta, automatically their investment will reduce. Let's say Toyota has an inventory turnover ratio of about 200-250 times. That means on an average beta, whatever materials that they purchase, they hold it only for 1 or 1.5 day on a higher side. Nothing more than that. Normal manufacturing entities as such beta, जैसे if you talk about the apparel industry, उनके लिए inventory holding period थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है guys. They have inventory holding period of 80-90 days, which is usually very high. But that means their inventory turnover ratio is only about 4 or 5 times in a year. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? It depends from industry to industry. But anyways, we use that to decide whether the inventories are fast moving, slow moving or non-moving. This is all for raw materials, not for finished product yet. Any doubt in this part? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? So if you talk about apparel beta, जैसे Zara, Zara takes only about 10 days as such guys from the design phase till the product appears in the store. Once the design is finalized, uske baad mein it's only and only 10 days for the product to get manufactured and appear in the stores. This is the only reason why they have that premium in the market in terms of valuation or whatever you say guys. And they believe in fast fashion. एक बार product आया गया भाड़ में गया, next design release over. Are we clear beta? For them the inventory turnover ratios as such guys are significantly higher. They say अगर कुछ नया चीज आया है market में, we should be the first one to bring it to the market. Only then you will have that first mover advantage and get higher sales. Are we clear guys? The next one beta is vital, essential and desirable. VED classification. When you say vital, Sneha सुन रही है बेटा? तेरे बाजू बेटा next. What's your name? Nishi, right? हाँ सुन रही है? Vital, essential and desirable guys. What do you understand by vital, essential, desirable? इसके बिना रह सकता हूं, अगर ये है तो जिंदगी अच्छी लगती है, ये भी है तो चलेगा. Yes or no beta Rishikesh? So when you say vital guys, you're basically talking about a raw material, the non-availability of which will immediately result in production stoppages. You will not be able to manufacture anything if vital raw materials are not available. Essential materials are not available, production will go on, but the efficiency might get impacted. When I say efficiency might get impacted as such beta, it is the number of units that get manufactured, the rate at which it is getting manufactured as such guys, all of that will get impacted if essential materials are not available. Desirable materials as such guys will have zero impact on the production, will have zero impact on efficiency. If there is no power as such beta, will it be vital, essential or desirable? Essential. Backup मतलब inverter चलेगा as such guys, but because the ACs will not be running as such guys, अभी ठीक है winter season as such beta, it might not have an impact also, but so many people breathing as such guys, releasing out so much of carbon dioxide will still impact as such guys the efficiency of the operations. Will it have an impact? हाँ या ना guys? Definitely yes. So please think from that aspect. Vital एक ही sentence use करना है एग्जाम में अगर पूछा भी तो बेटा. Vital production stop करेगा, essential efficiency impact करेगा, desirable कुछ नहीं करेगा. Are we clear about this? Yes or no guys? The last one beta is high cost, medium cost, low cost, HML category. HML category is exactly the same as ABC, just that classification is not based on total cost of inventory, instead it is based on cost per unit. ABC is based on total cost, number of units multiplied by cost per unit. HML category takes cost per unit, not widely used as such beta, but ABC is widely used. Almost all the organizations implement ABC classification. Having ABC classification guys also helps in delegation of responsibility. The main purchase manager might be taking care of category A items as such guys, delegate category B as such beta to the lower level functional managers as such guys. They can further delegate category C as such beta to the next lower level. When audit is being conducted as such beta, the main areas are taken care by managers as such guys. Operating expenses जो भी रहते हैं, article students है ना, दे दो बोल के. Are we understanding? नहीं बेटा, वैसे ही होता है. जाके बैंक कंफर्मेशन लेके आओ. मैनेजर थोड़ी जाएगा बेटा बैंक कंफर्मेशन लेने. So either you use that confirmation website as such guys, but confirmation ये banks भी ना बेटा, you learn this in audit later or anything. अभी है कि नहीं है? So to get a bank confirmation whether the balance is actually this or not, banks insist that the mail should come only from this website. This website charges 3,000 rupees. So you're using that website as an intermediary to communicate with the banker. So वो banker बोलते that is one way of for us to verify whether it is coming from a genuine source or not बोल के. ऐसे कोई भी randomly mail भेजा तो हम थोड़ी बोलते yes yes correct, he is holding 100 crores. So that is why. But imagine the amount of business that this website as such beta has created, the intermediary beta that has created. So anyways, are we all clear about this? समझ में आ गया? This is the second classification guys, that is on the basis of relative classification. Is that clear? Yes or no? Got a third classification, I'll finish off that also better, that is inventory control using ratio analysis. नाम ही बोल रहा है बेटा that you will have to compute few ratios for the purpose of exercising control over the inventories. क्या हुआ वीर, आज इतनी देर बाद में उठ रहा, अभी तक 3 बार चले आता तो. Inventory control, guys, using ratio analysis. I just had to convey that once, beta. I conveyed it. Huh? So using ratio analysis. When you say using ratio analysis, the first ratio that we compute, beta, is something called as input-output ratio. Did we come across this in any of the questions? There were so many questions, guys, in which they gave us input-output ratio. Input-output ratio, guys, will talk about the total quantity of raw material that is required, guys, in order to manufacture a required number of output. What is the loss, normal loss in the process, and what should be the output as such, beta, that you should be getting out of a manufacturing process. Based on the actual production as that is undertaken as such, guys, you can compute what should have been the standard quantity of raw material that an organization should have used and compare that with the actual consumption of raw material. By doing this, you will know if there is any variance in consumption. By doing this, beta, we will know if there is any variance in consumption. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Yes or no? जैसे बेटा a lot of अपने क्या बेटा fast food restaurants as such, guys, or directly involved जैसे ice cream stores or anything else, they will need to have a proper control mechanism in place as such, guys, to ensure that the staff does not siphon off funds. Let's say you try paying in cash as such, but at any of these stores, if they are siphoning off funds, they will come up with a common excuse called as, there's some problem with the billing machine, sir, Abhi. Do you mind if I send you the bill later? It means they are not going to enter that in the system at all as such, but they're going to pocket that cash. So these companies should have some control mechanism in place as such, guys. Abhi ek do agar ho raha hai beta, might not be detectable. But if the quantities are higher as such, guys, they can know by the amount of sales and by the amount of quantity that was purchased if the inputs match with the outputs or not. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ, guys? Are you all understanding this? So when you say input-output ratio, guys, this is what the organizations would do. The second one, beta, is something that you already know, inventory turnover ratio. FM, we are going to learn inventory turnover ratio again. As of now, the inventory turnover ratio that we are learning, guys, is in relation to raw material. It is not in relation to finished product. The inventory turnover ratio that you might have learned earlier, guys, is in relation to finished product. COGS divided by average stock of raw material, finished goods. जो अभी पढ़ रहे हैं बेटा, it is in relation to. So to compute inventory turnover ratio, guys, you will write annual consumption of raw material. You do not take annual purchases. You take. The reason behind not taking purchases, beta, is, let's say that you bought material worth 12 lakhs and you did not do anything during the year. The average amount of stock that you're maintaining throughout the year is 12 lakhs. खरीदे बैठे रोज देख रहे अच्छा inventory अपने पास बोल के. If you write average purchases, guys, annual purchases divided by the amount of average stock, you will get 12 lakhs divided by 12 lakhs. Inventory turnover ratio will be, where did you replace the inventory once? Did you use the inventory? The actual answer, beta, should be, we consumed 0, though we maintained a stock of 12 lakhs. So my inventory never got replaced only during the year. My inventory turnover ratio is 0 times. जो भी inventory turnover ratio compute करते beta, as a matter of fact, remember, the numerator should be the figure that comes after adjusting opening and closing stock of that inventory. You talk about finished goods turnover ratio, you take COGS because that is the figure that you get after adjusting opening and closing stock of finished goods. You talk about raw material turnover ratio, two purchases, if I add opening stock and deduct closing stock, I get consumption of raw material. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock will be your, did I not write that in so many questions? So in the numerator, you should write consumption of raw material, divide that by the average amount of inventory that you are holding. What does inventory turnover ratio signify? It tells us how many times the inventory was replaced in a year. All right. Higher the number of times the inventory gets replaced in a year, lesser is the quantity of raw material held. ठीक है? If you are replacing inventory, if the turnover ratios are high, that means you are maintaining lower amount of stocks. So many organizations beta use this as a key performance metric to evaluate whether their manufacturing systems are improving or not as such beta. They will always want to compare inventory turnover ratios. Are you getting this? Any doubt in this beta? समझ में आ गया क्या बोल रहा हूँ? material holding period equals raw material holding period equals 365 days or 12 months divided by 365 days or 12 months divided by raw material turnover ratio. ये फॉर्मूला नहीं भी मालूम है ना बेटा, आंसर आ जाता तुम लोग को. If I tell you 10 times in a year, on an average it is every 36 days. Did you not calculate frequency of placing orders? Exactly like that beta. So 365 days or 12 months divided by raw material holding period. So this is the third method as beta of exercising inventory control. Now the last method as beta is using physical control. When is a physical control as beta, there will be physical checks in place in order to exercise control over inventory. First, there's something called as bin card. अरे गधो, bin card क्या है guys? Stores ledger जैसा रहता bin card. What's the difference between bin card and stores ledger card? बिन में क्यों मेंटेन करते बिन? एक आइडिया आने के लिए कितना मटेरियल आ रहा, कितना जा रहा. बेटा थर्ड बेंच, यू आर डिस्कसिंग व्हाट इज बिन कार्ड. हो गया बेटा एक हफ्ता क्लासेस शुरू हो गए. Not going to entertain any nuisance in the class. You cannot concentrate. Simply pick up your bags and leave the classroom. As simple as that. There's no compulsion to sit in the class. If you're sitting in the class, it should be because you want to study. It is not because someone is forcing you to. Are we very clear about this? Manan, any idea about what is a bin card? No. बिन किसको बोलते हैं? Bin is a container guys. Dust bin is called dust bin so that people know that waste should be disposed in that dust bin. Any bin is not dust bin. If you write bin on your face, that does not mean you become dust bin. Different story. That is only there. Guys, bin is a container. Raw materials in the stores are stored in different bins, different containers. A card that is placed on that bin describing the material that is stored inside the container is called as bin card. Are we clear? कितना आ रहा जा रहा वही bin के अंदर. But are you all getting the point guys? A few of us are experts in cooking guys. That is why they write sugar on sugar container, they write salt on salt container, so that we do not think salt is sugar or sugar is salt. There's a reason. That labeling as such beta is called, see अभी तुम लोग मस्ती मजाक छोड़ो बेटा, ये समझो that a company has 2000 different types of materials. What if the storekeeper beta is not able to differentiate between the materials? लाके सब साइड में रख देता. You ask them as such बेटा that I want 1x2 mm के screws as such guys. वो छोटा स्केल लेके जाके पूरे screws चेक करते रहता, इसमें से 1x2 वाला कौन सा है बोल के. Won't there be an issue? And 1x2 छोड़ो बेटा, they can be slight 0.11 mm के difference से भी as such guys. There can be so many specifications of the products. That is why बेटा those detailings are required. Or guys, you go to a pharmacy as such बेटा, how do they store medicines? डब्बों में, डब्बों के ऊपर एक पेपर में लिखे सो रहता कौन सी दवाई अंदर है बोल के, यूजुअली इन द अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर. यस और नो, सो दैट इट्स इजियर टू नो ऐसा बेटा वेयर इज द मेडिसिन. हाँ या ना? वैसे ही गाइस बिन कार्ड इज मेंटेन्ड. बिन कार्ड विल नॉट ओनली tell us about the type of material that is stored inside the bin, it will also give us details of the quantity of material that is lying inside the bin, so that the storekeeper also knows guys when to place the order. If you do not know what is the quantity of material that is lying with you as such better, you will never know when to place the order. You think that there is 100 kgs lying inside, surprise, then you open as such better, there is 1 kg left. So every time you receive the material, every time a material is issued, guys, details are written on the bin card. When you write details on the bin card, it will tell us what is the amount of material that is stored inside the bin. Are we clear about this? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? It will not have any details relating to the value of the material. Store keeper को नहीं मालूम रहता कितने में खरीदे, क्या कर रहे, क्या नहीं कर रहे बोल के. So valuation of materials, we have no idea. Will we know how much is the quantity of material stored inside it? Yes. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? A store's ledger card is maintained by the accounts department. The accounts department as such beta will maintain details of all the inflows and outflows of materials compulsorily. Why? Because they are the ones who are responsible as such, guys, for arriving at the cost, for cost allocations. So a store's ledger card is the one that you prepare beta. Receipts, issues and balance, quantity per unit, amount. पढ़े थे ना बचपन में? This is a store's ledger card. This store's ledger card, guys, also will have details of the type of material, the quantity of material that you are purchasing, the quantity of material that you are issuing, apart from value of the material. Bin card where there is no value of material. On a store's ledger card, you will have details of value of material also. That's the primary difference between bin card and store's ledger card. Of course, other fact beta, bin card is being prepared by the stores department. Store's ledger card beta will be prepared by the accounts department. Is that clear? Yes or no? In the stores department, there's also a stock control card maintained or a stock control register. The problem with bin card as such beta is that it is scattered in the entire stores department. Every container pe there'll be a separate card that is placed. A centralized record that is maintained by the stores manager, guys, detailing what is the amount of inventories that are lying with them, will be stock control card. Do not forget beta that most of these processes have been automated now. You do not need to maintain any physical registers. Even when you go to a pharmacy as such and ask for a specific medicine, he will enter and look into the system whether they have inventory of that medicine or not. Hi Anna, guys. So simple hai beta. You will have to, the central register that is maintained detailing all the records, all the details of the inventories will be a stock control card. अब ये physical control में क्या काम में आता है? तो हाँ, stores ledger card that you are maintaining as such beta. For this, you can either follow perpetual inventory system or periodical inventory system. The ones who are done foundation will know this. The ones who are not done with the beta, listen. The ones who are done, shut your mouth. Even if I ask you, you will not answer. But Kushali, what's the difference between perpetual inventory system and periodical inventory system? Perpetual is physically counting. Periodically is mentally calculated. We enter it in a computer in periodical. Perpetual में we enter it in our mind. अरे तू मजाक कर रही क्या यार मेरे साथ? एक जगह बोल रही we write it, एक जगह बोल रही we count it. वहां पे मारेगा देखो कभी वो पहले. वंश ऐसे बोलना नहीं मालूम बोल के खाम खत्म. Under perpetual inventory system, guys, the details of issues of materials, guys, and purchases of materials will be entered in the store's ledger card beta as and when a transaction takes place. That is on a real-time basis. Transaction occurs, you will make a note of it beta in the perpetual inventory system. So by looking at the inventory record that is maintained, you will know what is the balance of inventory that is lying with you. Under periodical inventory system beta, you do not maintain a record of the amount of purchases that are occurring. Instead, you physically count the inventory. Once you know what is the physical amount of inventory that is left as such beta, the remaining part is the amount that is consumed. This is what you have learned in CA foundation. तो डायरेक्ट एंट्री में बेटा समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? परपेचुअल में यू मेंटेन रिकॉर्ड्स ऑन अ कंटिन्यूअस बेसिस. You will record it in the store's ledger card as and when a transaction occurs. Because you're recording every receipt, every issue, will you know what is the balance of inventory? Yes. Under periodical inventory system, guys, what you learn is that you will not keep a record of all the issues as such beta. Instead, You will physically count the inventory as such beta at the end, and the remaining part is automatically the consumption. 100 पैकेट खरीदे बेटा, 4 पैकेट बचे सो है, दैट इज पीरियोडिकल इन्वेंट्री सिस्टम, मतलब 96 पैकेट खाली है. Are we clear? Under periodical perpetual inventory system, you will keep recording how many packets have been consumed. Are we clear about this? Finally beta, under physical control system, the first one is 2 bin system. Guess karo beta, what can be 2 bins? 2 dustbins. Yes or no? Rishikesh, what will be 2 bins? One for. वेरी गुड. अब थोड़ा प्रैक्टिकली सोच, जो भी आ रहा एक में रख रहे, दूसरे में ब्लेसिंग आ रही, उसमें कुछ डाले भी नहीं अपन, लेकिन लेके जा रहे वहां से. हाँ, डोरेमोन कहते. ओ माय गॉड. यस गाइस, वापस ट्राई कर कुछ और क्रिएटिव आंसर. हाँ, दूसरा भी रिसीट ही रहेगा ना बेटा. You cannot have a separate bin guys for receipt and issues unless they are secretly connected by a pipe wherein if you put here and slowly the material goes there guys. अगर वैसा है तो yes. वेरी गुड बेटा. अब थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ गाइस. ये क्रिएटिविटी कहां से आ रही है गाइस? व्हाई विल द अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट मेंटेन रॉ मटेरियल गाइस? इमेजिन बेटा, यू आर आस्किंग समवन टू कीप अ रिकॉर्ड. वो बोल रहा है मेरे को क्या मालूम कौन सा मटेरियल है, यहां पे रख सामने, ओनली देन आई विल रिकॉर्ड इट. बीकॉम के आंसर्स में लिख के लाइक देते हो. One could be held as I shouldn't give so much time also better that you end up reading the entire thing. हाँ, पढ़ा क्या तू अभी? नहीं ना. ये वो बंदा है बेटा जो अभी तक क्लासेस भी खत्म नहीं करा, आ रहा ऑल्टरनेट डे. Anyway, someone was answering something here. डिफेक्ट नहीं है, वो जो बोला वही करेक्ट हो गया. मैं इसीलिए मैं वो पढ़ रहा था कि वहाँ पे सेफ्टी स्टॉक वर्ड है कि नहीं है, बल्कि मिनिमम स्टॉक वर्ड है, बट ठीक है चलता बेटा. सो करेक्ट गाइस. देयर आर मटेरियल स्टोर्ड इन 2 कंटेनर्स. वन इज अ स्मॉलर कंटेनर गाइस, वन इज अ लार्जर कंटेनर. दिख रहा है ना? सो द क्वांटिटी दैट यू विल हैव गाइस इन द स्मॉलर कंटेनर एज सच बेटा माइट ईदर बी इक्वल टू सेफ्टी स्टॉक और might be equal to reorder level. Usually for proper physical control as such better, the quantity that is there in the smaller container should be equal to reorder level better. ताकि the minute the larger container is exhausted, you know time आ गया, you have to place an. That is how you are physically exercising control over inventory. The inventory is being stored in 2 containers as such guys. जिसमें डालोगे बेटा inventory, उसी से निकालना पड़ेगा on a later date as such guys. And you will only send the invoices to the accounts department. ठीक है? Are we all clear about this guys? This is 2 bin system. इसके अलावा बेटा physical control में there is establishment of budgets. We will learn about budgetary control in the end guys. But budgets are nothing but quantitative statements as such better for your plan of action. Having budgets in place will tell us what is the quantity of raw material that will be required. If you pre-plan your production as such better, you can also plan your material requirements. Purchase materials as per those plans only. जो भी तुम्हारा budget है उसके हिसाब से you will undertake the manufacturing activity and the purchasing activity. And then guys there is something called as stock taking. Stock taking मतलब physical verification. Physical verification of inventory guys also comes under physical control. It can be continuous stock taking. Continuous stock taking beta is where inventories are continuously verified. You do not have to verify each item of inventory on a daily basis as such beta, but periodically, matlab once in a month you will try to cover all the items of inventories. You will count all the items, compare that beta with the inventories that should be there as per your books. If there's any difference as such guys, then you know that there can be an abnormal loss or there can be theft of raw material guys. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Are we all clear about this? 30th one, guys. Limited has provided the following information about the items in its inventory. Item code number beta 101 to 106. We have units, we have unit cost. ABC analysis beta is based on per unit cost, or is it based on total cost? What you will do beta is multiply units by the unit cost, write the total cost of those inventories. नीचे लिखा हुआ है MM has adopted the policy of classifying the items constituting 15% or above of the total inventory cost as category A, items constituting 6% or less of the total inventory cost as C, and the remaining items beta as B category. You are required to rank the items on the basis of percentage of total inventory cost and classify the items. कोई तुम्हारा suggestion analysis नहीं पूछ रहा है बेटा. It is only asking us to rank the items on the basis of the total inventory cost and then classify them into these three categories. Are we clear? लिखो बेटा. Total it up gaya na 7,000. Can you compute the percentage of each category as a percentage of total cost? So that will be 1250 divided by 7,500. 16.67%. 300 divided by 7,500. 4%. 4,000 divided by 7,500. 53.33%. 600 by 7,500. 8%. 450 by 7,500. And 900 by 7%. They've asked us to rank them, guys, on the basis of the percentage. Obviously, better the first ranking will be to the item that has the highest percentage. So that is 53.33, 16.67, 12%, 8%, 6%, and 4%. This will be the ranking, guys. Category A में किसको डालोगे बेटा? Category A बेटा is 15% and above. 101 and 103, guys. Collectively, it will be 16.67 plus 53.33 beta. There are inventories that have 70% of total cost. This is category A. Category B में बेटा anything between क्या है बेटा वो 6 and 12 बेटा 6 and 15 sorry 8 and 105 and 106 बेटा क्या आ जाएगा 8% and 12%. They combined have a value of this, and last number that will be 102 and 105. 4% plus 6%, that will be 10%. समझ में आ गया? ये कैटेगराइजेशन कैसे करना है क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है बेटा. Online students, end of the session. You have a break now. See you guys after the break. Bye bye.